laminate deal.
Hemis maksal, itirak, semasa kemosis. Say mama, bye, whenever it goes miss. Just keep it one again, like when you say you can keep it check. My part, that was not okay.
Alex de Resoluio Eminentio.
Emmy's not sound. It's not smash again. What's it? Say, Mom, I'm buying whatever pictures miss. Just give it one again, like when you say you can keep it. My bar, can't ever something. Okay.
welcome back, everybody. It's just gone 8 o'clock on the 12th of October. We're going to be starting with no music today because the radio finally broke. So don't panic. We've just got to build that again. But hey, we'll address it. It's funny, this is going to be the quiet show because we've had a radio every episode until today. I mean, I might see, I haven't got a, well, no, I do have a playlist, actually. I do have a playlist. Let's see if we can set it up to run the playlist. Welcome back, everybody. Today is going to be a Sunday chill show. It's episode 275 of Scuffed Epoch Live. I'm Drift Johnson. And this is Bunraku, day 3. We're also going to be looking at Meshy, because we've been doing a lot of stuff in Meshy. So let me just see if I can get the right Google Chrome open. Hello, Dragon Diffusion. Am I first? Throttle. I am first. They're having a I am Spartacus moment. And Zeus says hello. Hello, Zeus. Welcome to everybody watching, if you're watching live or if you're watching later. The radio finally died today after 2 years of active service, maybe more, maybe 3 years of active service, actually, because the radio station predates the channel by a considerable amount. So let's see if we can get a Spotify tab on the recording machine. Excuse me. And then I can get to telling you what the hell's going on. Let's see. I made playlists. Let's do this one. Oh, it's fine. It's just the contract ended. I ended the contract because I've got a new server. Scuffed Epoch is on a new server. 5 Below 5 was a radio station. Let's turn this down a bit. I think that might be about what we're used to. Maybe. You guys will have to let me know if the tunes are quiet. Okay, we're not playing them in shuffle. We're just going to play them in chronological order from start to finish. And I can do shuffle playlists and stuff. Anyway, hopefully it's not too loud or too quiet. Please let me know if the background audio sucks. Hopefully it actually stays on our music. That's important. The whole point is we're not using other people's tunes. Right. Let's get back on track, shall we? Okay. So, yeah, new radio station is coming. I'm probably going to start building it tonight after the show. Feel free to join us on Discord, as always, in the live chat. The live dev chat. So, in a collaboration project with Throttle, I started making Bunraku, which is working, and it works great. I do need to adjust the camera angles, but it's a solid app. So if I tell her to tell me a joke, she's going to do running, because that's currently...
Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
And then she'll go back to dancing. Now, currently I've got it like a formation, like the intro. So what we've done is we've got a line trace that goes along the ground and it makes a shape. So I could put her in triangle mode. And now we have triangle. I just need to make sure we are dramatic. Let's go back to 5. See, it's still a bit too close. I have to figure out the camera. The camera, you know what I mean? The last piece of the puzzle is the camera. Because what I really want is a sweeping camera that orbits around the center of the, you know, it moves relative to the center of the thing. So, yeah. Because at the moment, you have to pull back quite a long way. Okay, square, this is cool. We can add up to 16. Look at that. If I refresh him now, it should come up in sync. It's hard because there we go, they're in sync now, look at that. So my thought is now you get the camera moving around. Now this is funny. This is all just for the idle screen. But remember, this isn't just a random 3D model. We solved it. Thanks to everyone in the community pitching in. So Throttle came up with an excellent app, which is the inspiration for the original 3JS. Okay. And he came up with an externalized animation library. We were talking about it. I theorized about it on the stream, but never did it. And he did it. And then he gave me the source code, and I used tins on his source. And then we merged that with this project for phase 9. And like I said, this is perfectly in sync. You see, there's no lag for having extras. Yeah, I kept it reasonable with 16, but we can do 20. You can change the spacing as well, but eventually they like go out of shot. You have to worry about framing. But you see how they're slightly out of sync? It's actually because of the microseconds when we were changing stuff. If you refresh it, it starts all at once. Dudes. And the thing is, if they say tell me a
Why
joke,
don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
and then they'll start doing a random dance. There's like 24 dances. Check this out. This is really fun. So you can take off the formation sync, and then we'll refresh them again. So they all. Oh, we got a T pose. Uh-oh, something went wrong. It's all right. Well. Do we have any T-poses now? No. I think it's because of, like I said, it updates so fast that you kind of have to refresh to have the settings, because they do save. So now they're all doing different dances. It's lovely. Lovely. Hello, Furnicar. Well, Battle Cruiser operational. Liked and subscribed. Did you like the stream, guys? Let the algorithm know we exist. Yeah, it is working nice. So like I said, as I was saying, Throttle came up with this externalized animation system, and then we've adapted it so that it works with our state engine. And then I've made a few more adaptations, but essentially the short story is, if we go into the animation folder itself, and I've got so much extra stuff, guys. Oh my God. See, this is all extra stuff. I need to be careful what I'm doing. Right. We are now on version 10 or something. People keep telling me, stop! And I'm like, no, it needs this, it needs that. But I really do think this is nice. So, I wanted to show you... There was a reason I came in here. Ah, yeah. If we go into public, we have models, which has avatar.glb, and that is the model that we're currently using. The model was the mesh, came from Furnicar. He used the latest Hunyan 3D to make the mesh. We imported that into Meshy, and then we used the same image that was used with Hunyan to skin the avatar. Okay, and I will say the faces are a bit hit and miss, but you do get good ones, and I found a way to make the faces better. Basically, you just actually remesh, so you make it simpler. And the reason that it doesn't work is because it's too high poly. So you reduce the polys, but not a lot. I'd say 100,000, which is the max. I'll show you in a minute. But let's look at the animations. So we put the animations, and they go into state folders. So if we go into the idle state, we got 23 dances. I actually found some more, but I don't know if they're going to work with this character. So there's a few things I want to try out. I've got a couple of tests, and it's all about compatibility of the externalized animations with skins based on the same mesh, or different meshes with a similar targeting. Now I'm hoping it's not a horror show. We should be able to use Bunraku to do it all. Let me just put them back on sync. Put it back to line. We'll have six in a row on formation, and then we'll go for full body. I wonder if these might need adjusting, because the actual numbers are all adjustable and presettable. I think sometimes the cameras to still a bit high, like 0. I think 0 isn't her feet for some reason now. I don't know. Something's happened. But if I go to full body, see, we were already at 0, which is the minimum. So I guess I'll just pull back a bit. It's probably a bit too much. Oh, sugar. Went the wrong way. 3.5. It would be nice if you could actually see what you were doing as well, but for some reason the menu decides if it's going to overlap or not. Sometimes you get it here, and then it's... Yeah, so that... Yeah, it's there now. Do you see what I mean? It's very strange. It's almost like there's 2 of them. Vibe codes. So if we refresh this, because one of her is stuck. Is she still stuck? No. Okay. All right. So, like I said, it's an AI app, which is a collaboration between myself and Throttle. Fernicar has helped us with the model, and then Throttle came in again with the second collab with the animation system. So that means that these is just walking, running, which is the base animations that you always get, right? And then all of the other animations are externalized, as I was showing you. It's literally just the animation, right, as a 10 meg, just that. And then the animation state engine changes between idle, intro. Intro is obviously when it loads, but it's idle, talking, thinking. And occasionally, if an emotion's detected, there's emotes. At the moment, I've only got one, but I have found more. I've found more. I plan to add them and update it. But at the moment, she talks. Emotions detect which of the camera presets get used. But what I really want is I want a free camera, like a free cam that orbits, zooms, tracks, that kind of stuff. Like in a music video is what I'm looking for. And it's mostly just for the idle screen. So when the app is idle, it's just avatar doing stuff. That's the idea, right? But also we can use it for, hang on. We could use it for one of these, but like actually with 3D models this time. So it's also a chatbot though, What is the capital of France? She's gonna do acrobatics when she's thinking.
France is Paris. It is not only the political centre, but also a major cultural, economic, and historical hub in Europe. Known for landmarks such as the
There's a
Eiffel
button
Tower,
to stop her talking. She's got a button for stopping her talking, so that's nice. And it streams. Everything's streaming. What else? So again, just to run over it, it's Olama or OpenRouter, up to you. I'm using Intern VL 3.5 at the moment. It's using Google English Female, just whatever comes on Google Chrome, right? I do have plans to add in both local and 11 Labs options. Or, there is an FPS counter, but it's kind of massive, so I turn it off. The animations themselves, you can actually test new animations, but I might remove this because this is from... See, the thing is, what was it? Throttle had these really cool, like, it picked loads of animations, but I don't actually use a lot of these. So I kind of retroactively changed it as we needed it. But there, you know what I mean? There's actually a way of doing that. Oh. And also, in the process of debugging, we built this tool. So I realized we needed a way to be able to drop GLBs into a quick app. So this is going to be on Origin AI, but essentially you can drop it in. I wouldn't bother with the export. We didn't bother using the export in the end. What this was just to see what animations it has on it. Because really it needs walking and running as the default animations. So this is a Oh, the happy state trigger. Yeah, I remember the happy state. I forgot to show that. Thank you, Throttle. Yeah, if I like say, tell me a joke, and then I say that was funny, she'll be happy.
Sure, here's a light-hearted joke for you.
I wonder what will happen.
Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
She always tells the same joke. All right, and I'll say, that was funny.
I'm glad you found it amusing. If you have any more questions or need another, I'm glad you found...
The camera angle's scuffed. It zoomed. The okay. So she detected happy. She's happy because I found the joke funny, right? So that's how that works. But the funny thing is that the close-up preset is too high, too close, and too narrow. It's like a combo of everything's wrong with it. Okay. So you see what I mean by how the whole ground seems to be... Is it because it's wide? Is it something to do with the... I don't know. But anyway. So yeah, 3D in the app, doing stuff, triggering animations. Very cool. Lots of cool stuff that can be done with this, okay? So, you know, I don't know why it wants to do it. Put it on solo mode. Is it like when it's on solo? No, it's no lower. The ground must have been lowered by introducing the formations. Show floor. Look, see what I mean? Like, somehow the floor is lower. Because the camera is currently at 0. So there must be... Focus on the center figure. I think we just need to actually get the floor. Like, you can clearly see the floor is not, like, the camera's at 0. So whatever, because remember, the camera was made before the scene. So I think what's happened is when we put the animation stuff, the floor is not the floor anymore. I just need to make him check. It's all good. It's cool. Because like I said, it's like that is not the, she should be here. Oh, do you know what it is? I bet she's being spawned on the front of the scene, not the middle. Hang on a minute. If I do a circle, yeah, look at where the center of the floor is. Hang on, let me take the camera back real quick. So if I just go full body, right? That's supposed to be a full body. So the one in the middle at the front, you should be able to see her feet from the top to the bottom. So I reckon it's dropped down. Look, in fact, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. She's through the bottom of the floor. Oh, dude, it's not the floor. It's the character. Check it out. It's at her middle. It's at her core, not her feet. They're all spawned in the floor if you look carefully at the grid. I just noticed it now. If you look carefully at the grid lines, she's actually like standing up to her waist in the floor. So the problem isn't that the camera's low. The problem is all of the models are wrong. They're all... Whoa, oh, she's lost. This one's... Oh, we've got a... One of them's different. But yeah, like I said... Yeah, all of the models are at the center, not the feet. The center versus Y0 bug. Yeah. But that's easy. I can explain that to the guy. Okay, we'll put that to one side for in a bit because we've got other stuff to talk about. But this is super cool. Opens up a lot of doors to a lot of other cool things that we were out of reach for a long time. Because as I say, this was built off of one of the Sharonas. Her face is a bit weird, I'll grant you. But we do our best. So this is a a Thora experiment. All right. Now they do run a bit funny. They're a bit John Wayne-ish, and it's because Banana doesn't like to put their feet together while also keeping the legs apart. Because think about it, you're like standing a T-pose with the feet together but not touching. You know, it's like quite tricky actually. What the process was, and this is really simple. We take our best artwork, of our character, we say make the woman with the description wearing clothing and include the word boots or shoes or feet into a T-pose with parallel stance on white background. You only really need into a T-pose on white background. With the parallel stance, we were trying to get the feet to actually be like straight down, but not, because the problem is you want the feet to go straight down so that when she goes into the walking animation, she doesn't walk like a cowboy. Because, you know, they kind of always keep the angle if you cook it like this. And if you do an A pose, if anyone smart in the audience is wondering why we didn't do an A pose, when you do an A pose, the legs are fine, but then the arms are so close to the side of the body that things like the legs are not seen as separate, and they kind of warp and distort badly. So the T pose is definitely the way to go, but you have to get lucky with the position, like the gait. But anyway, the bottom line is you do like an IP adapter type thing, so you get some good images of the character. You can see I'm deliberately trying to get either no legs or legs together in these, and it still just made something like that. It does a pretty good job. It does a pretty good job of trying to repeat. It's not nowhere near as detailed, but the 3D models won't be this detailed anyway, so it's going to be a loss of detail in the process. Also, what's nice about this, and this is super cool, oh my god, because I come from a game dev background, if you look at this, we can just say change the outfit. Right, I actually said change it to a bold man, because we talked about that last night. Change it to a bold man, keep the power armor type aesthetic, but black it out, right? And I'll admit, it tried to make everything a woman when it did the mesh, but that's partly because there are structures in the chest. So what I did was I kept changing it up, but this is an alternate skin. Same character, different skin. Change the outfit to polished black material with black chrome without altering silhouette or head. So I could say change the outfit to, here, check this out, to an industrial type exoskeletal assistance in style outfit in hazard yellow and black, you know, like a warning sign, I guess. Okay, without altering the silhouette or head. So we're going off of the original. That's another good one. 2 credits. Two credits. Banana. Yo, Full Dive, welcome to the show. Glad to see you. You should all stop by the show tonight, guys. It's going to be fun. After we finish the stream, we'll be in Discord, continuing in Dev Live. You don't have to talk, just drop in. We're all very chatty though. We won't bite your head off. I lied. I will bite your head off. Right. See this? Now we've got the yellow and black thing. So, oh, maybe you don't like that one. VIP exclusive. What do you mean? I was a pro. Oh, it's probably because I cancelled the membership. They kicked me out, guys. I'm not in the banana club no more. What I did was I bought it when it came out, and then I realised, well, I think, yeah, we have it locally, don't we? So I was like, oh, I feel silly. But now I've got the credits, so I'm going to use them. Okay, so there's another one. The chest plate's still coming out like... Anyway, it's kind of weird because... Okay, I got an idea. What about if I say change the outfit to an industrial outfit, right, with bulky angular steel and carbon fiber. Yeah, I'm doing great, guys. Honestly, we've just made a massive breakthrough, because it wasn't so long ago that we were using the GLTF to stream models into games that we vibe coded in a browser. And now the pipeline has somewhat matured. What I'm going to show you in a minute will be the Meshy stuff. And I've done a lot. There's a lot of stuff to show you. Oh, now that's more like it. Now he's looking a bit like a Gundam. We'll download that and I'll show you what we can do with it. So I'll admit the mesh is different from this skin, but you can still try to put this skin on that mesh. But to be honest, I just make another one. So we're going to do that. We're going to make this mesh. Should we make this a little bit like fancy boy? What about if I want it to be a rescue armor type exoskeletal augmentation. Yeah, rescue armor type, and I'm going to say orange and grey. Bulky angular steel carbon fiber. Bulky angular ceramic. Without altering the... It's funny. You know, the amount of stuff you ask for. Share the Thora T-pose. I did. It's already in the dev chat. If you take a look in the dev chat, this is the best Thora pose I could get. Like, this actually looks okay when you animate because her shoulders are quite wide apart. It's not. It is wide. The stance is wide, but it's not as bad. You just when you do the rigging, you just have to not use symmetry for this side. You have to you know, adjust it because it's not symmetrical. But other than that, it's pretty good. And I'll show you. We'll get to that in a minute. I mean, I tried to use one. Like, the trouble is, like I said, if I show you the full image that we used, you have to realize it won't let me move it. Is the whole machine crashed because of that one thing? Hang on. Oof. Right. Oof. Okay, it's back. Right. So this is 2048 by 1152. That would be one of the key art images for Thora. So it's a big image. We could probably do better than this now, by the way, but not for free. Not off your own silicon. So that represents peak Thora. So what I've done is I used those for the IP adapter to do this, and we tried all kinds of stuff to get it to do what we want. We also have Sharona, which is the one that we're looking at in the app right now. That's what that came out to. So it's kind of like GTA 3, maybe GTA 4. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, some of the faces in GTA 5 were pretty bad. Anyway, right. What? Stop it. Okay. So we now have a sort of Lex Luthor type individual. The idea is to give him a cloth coat, right? And probably a wig. We had a bunch of experiments to try. The chest has kind of come out less angular. But anyway, we can come back over here and have a look at one I made earlier. Okay. And I'll show you how we do this. If we go to image to 3D and then change to one of the ones we just done, like that one. Which one do you reckon? I reckon it's probably this one, actually. This one is the one I like the most at the moment. So we drag that in there. We're using Meshy 6 preview, obviously, depending on when you see this recording. God knows. But yeah, just that's the latest one at the moment. I'm using the T-pose because it is a T-pose. I'm going to call this one Can V4 Yellow. and that's going to start cooking that. But while it's doing it, let's take a look at what is here. So that there is a simplified model. And so what I found was, where are the rest of them? Yeah, so this is the original model, I believe. 862,000. Okay, so when you put a texture onto this guy, it looks okay, but it's almost like there's too much texture, and it causes weird creases and folds, and then the texture gets all chopped. So they have a remesh, which does take away the detail, yeah, but it allows the texture to apply better. So then the texturing process looks better, and also the model should run faster, because it's like going from like 1 million to 97,000, right? It's like 10 times less complicated. And that's just the remesh button, which I didn't even touch yesterday. So here, let's take a look at this. This is the original right here. All right. So obviously if I was to hit the remesh button, and I tried them all out. I haven't tried custom out. But 100k was nice. I mean, do you know what? Should we try 200k just for fun? Because it is still 4 times less. Let's try 200. Oh yeah, and also it does explain here you got quad and triangle. If you want to do more edits, quad. If you're gonna finish here, which we are, triangle. So I'm gonna pick triangle. Normally I do 100k. We were using it in the app without optimizing, by the way. So the Thoras that you're seeing, not the Thoras, the Sharonas that you can see, they're all not optimized. They're like 1 million triangles or whatever it said in there, yeah? And they're running fine even with like 20 of them, so it'll just make even better. So yeah, like I said, hit the confirm, and it's going to remesh. That'll take a minute, so I'll go away from that. Oh yeah, let's talk about faces before we move on. So faces. That one's not bad. Looks like what's the name of that old game? The Cyberpunk game? Damn, I can't remember it. There's a particular game and they had faces like this. But anyway, it reminds me of a certain type of gaming. Basically, I forget the name. Deus Ex. It reminds me of the original Deus Ex. It's actually a little bit better than the original Deus Ex. But anyway, it's kind of funny. And like I said, you can always use capes and coats and wigs and stuff. That's why we made a bold guy. Although my character is bold. So we are kind of aping one of my characters from a different game. Grid Runners, says Throttle. Deus Ex. That's correct, Zeus. I remade this mesh in the end because we've got a weird thumb. See, the thumb is bent back thing? And because of that, when you rig it, the whole thing looks weird. So you've got to watch out for little things like that. But this is a dead end. I'm just using it to show. So we go from this to this. Wait, let's see. Can we like line him up, please? There we go. I've never loaded it before. So we go from this to this. Now, I'd say actually 200,000 is looking pretty sweet. There's still a lot of detail there. But it's a lot, you know what I mean? All of the hard creases are gone. Because remember, we're not trying to, we're not texturing this full model. And to be honest, there's weird stuff going on. So it's smoothing. It's smoothing, guys. You know what I mean? But that thumb. Oh my God, the smoothing fixed the thumb. Almost, kind of. Wow. Okay, that's impressive. So anyway, next thing we do is we go to texture. And we obviously have that is the correct texture for this model. So it was used to generate it. It'll already be there automatic unless you like moved it. So yeah, we're gonna let him texture that. I bet it'll come out really nice. Because so far, when I've done the smoothing, the character textures come out really good. And so now we've got a little bit more detail back, but it's not like, you know, there's no like hard angles anywhere. So it should wrap nice. Because the hard angles break the wrapping a little bit, you know? I mean, I appreciate it had a little bit more physique and definition before, but... You know, we got to stretch this skin over the top of him, so... Yeah. The eternal finger problem, says Zeus. Exactly, yeah. So yeah, as you can see, 200,000 faces. It aimed for 200,000, you know. I've gone down to like 30, and it is like a balloon. So you can turn everything into a sausage if you try to remesh too hard. I mean, it makes sense if that's what you want to do. If you want to get like a low quality prototypes, like I'm thinking placeholder models or like NPC enemies that are just going to get killed a lot. You probably don't, you know. You probably don't need millions of triangles. So have a look. So, okay. The face leaves something to be desired, but maybe it's some kind of mannequin machine. I actually kind of like that. That's weird and scary. We've got another enemy, guys. So anyway, still trying to make breasts on everything though. Do you notice that? And how did it get gold from black? Very strange. You get 4 respins, by the way, every time you do this. So, you know, a lot of the stuff you do, you get... See, I got 3 retries on the mesh. The remeshing was free. You know, the smoothing, that was free. Doesn't charge you. The texturing, again, you get 4 re-rolls, which is nice. So, like, if I don't like this, I get another 4 goes on that one. Again, we did show before, you can do not retexture, you can do edit texture, and you can do like in painting. So say we wanted a different face, we could like, you know, prompt something and get that. I'm happy with that actually, it's kind of scary. Yo, MZ, how's it going? Welcome to the show. And Gorav, indeed, welcome back, nice to see you. So just to give you a little recap if you just joined, just so you're up to speed, we have built, this was a collaboration we did with Throttle, and it is a chatbot. Tell me a joke. She runs when thinking and then talks when talking. We currently have a circle arrangement of many Sharonas. You can't hear her talking. I had the volume down. But she says that with TTS. It's free. It runs on Olama or OpenRouter, but I'm using a local LLM for this. The voice is obviously free, but we're planning to expand that with different options. The animations thing currently is placeholder. We've overhauled this. It has a state tree. So she has like 24 dances that she'll do at random. I've got it set up like this because it's like my intro. And we're probably going to use this to do it. Because I can put it on a green screen, black screen, white screen, or under the spotlight. And then it also comes with the original classic theme. And we've got the grid on for debug at the moment because her feet should be on the floor, and you'll notice that her belly is there, and so it's screwing up all the camera angles. But this is local, and it's using our models. All right, this is the fun thing about this. It's using our models, and then for animations, again, thanks to the collaboration we did with Throttle, we've figured out the idea I had on the show yesterday, which was I took his code and inverted it back into a Phase 9 update for this app. So what you end up with is the animation state engine. So you have external anims. Where's the folder? Here it is. You have external animations. So when you go into the public folder, you have the models, which is the avatar GLB, which is only 10 meg, right? And then the animations are also 10 meg. All right. So I wonder actually, should we debug this real quick? Because I must admit, I made a debug tool so we could debug what it was. I want to see something here. It says it's just... Wait. It says that it's just an animation. Interesting. It's Sharona. The lighting's a bit weird, but it's Sharona. That's interesting. Okay. So if I get a hand on hit, that's also because this I've been collecting animations, but I was like, which, you know what I mean? I was like, which one is it? Because this is clearly, it's got the skin. It's not just the animation. It's got the skin with it. So does this, I wonder if I export just the animation, I could make it even more efficient. Yeah, it hasn't stripped the mesh. Yeah, I hadn't, you know what I mean? This is why we made the tool though, to be honest. And then look at what it's called it. Armature, hand on hip gesture, baseline. The naming conventions. Double click to edit. Yes! This is one of the things we had to do yesterday. So look what it called it. It called it base layer, hand on hip gesture, armature. That's actually what the name is. So it's not hand on hip gesture. Right, so yeah, let's try exporting it and see, because I don't even know if this tool works. 114k. Ooh. Because the thing is, if we strip the mesh out, it's truly external, and then we might be able to just use all the animations with any model, you see. That's the goal, Because it's a thing that they try to gate, I guess. And there are limits to how many animations you can put in. But then again, I bet there wouldn't be when they're this small. Yeah, I got the double click, bro. Took so long to... We got it. But yeah, so that's interesting. If this can strip the animation from the mesh, I don't know how safe the file output is yet. We'll have to find out. Maybe I'll call this something else and try to load it in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. This is a side quest for after the show, this is. Alright, let's get back to the main event. So as I say, once you've got your textured character, and this guy's looking pretty sweet. Look, Baldy. Here's Baldy. Alright. Zeus says, nice new avatar, Mr. Johnson. Can't wait for the OnlyFan. Yeah. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. We were talking about wigs. Should we play Spot the Face? I can see an eye. Oh, this one's too easy. Yeah, this one's too easy. Normally that game's fun. Alright. The pistols are sort of almost smooth to nothing. See, the issue with smoothing is it over smooths sometimes. How did he end up with... How did he end up with... Oh, well, I guess. See, that's the thing. The smoothing has turned it into moobs. I don't know. It's just weird, you know? Doesn't quite look right. But who cares? He is a fodder machine, I guess. So from here, we've already done it. So rig time. It's rig time. So this is actually remarkably simple. Just got to watch out for the symmetry, because sometimes it's not symmetrical. So this is what I do. I put the chin on the chin, and I'll be honest, I'm still learning like tips and tricks for myself as I get more of this done. I basically aim for where I reckon the wrist is. You might think it's there. It's up to you where you think it is, but I'm putting it where I think it goes, because the thing is, right, if you put it here, then the elbow will bend in a weird way, and it'll be like an alien with a super long forearm. And if you do it too late, again, it looks weird. So you've got to like I kind of end for that where the bicep ends in the middle, and then for the shoulder plate, I kind of go under the shoulder plate like this. Dantian for the groin. I don't know why they call it groin, because clearly it's belly button, or, you know, between the belt and the belly button, right? But I go for the lower part of the knee because it allows the kneecap piece to kind of bend a little bit. So I'm like going for like the middle of the lower corner in the center. and then the top cuff of the, you know, like the tongue of the shoe. I know it says ankle, which is like between those 2 points. So I'm like trying to aim somewhere in the middle. It's kind of tricky because, you know, it's like, it's not orthographic. Sometimes there'll be a twist to it. And again, I take the symmetry off and come in and just make sure that you actually have a mirror of what's on the other side, because sometimes the models aren't, you know what I mean, they're not actually symmetrical. See what I mean? Yeah. See, it was like not quite symmetrical. And then the same with here, just make sure it's like where the bicep ends, like, I guess it's tough, it's really tough. The way that people, the way it's drawn and everything. Okay, that looks good. It would be nice if we had XY values, but yeah. So it's going to rig our character, and then we'll take a look at some other ones what I done made earlier on the run up to coffee time. But yeah, this has been a whole lot of fun. It really does open up doors for new projects on the way into Halloween and the new year. Some big ones that we've been like waiting to unlock. Because the Unreal Engine 5 pipeline is like, look, check this out. My 3D, my Maya license expired. My 3ds Max is 2018. I don't have Blender experience, but I do have the Unreal Engine 5. So I think a combination of this and maybe doing some more Blender projects is probably what's going to end up happening. I'm going to try and avoid these as much as I can, to be honest. My 3ds Max can't actually export in GLB because apparently in 2018 it was not a supported format. Now they have like a super crazy make your life easy one-click GLB buttons and stuff. Probably AI, but I can't afford whatever it is they're charging. So, all right, look at that. He's not bad. You see what I mean with the John Wayne gait? Because of the fact his feet were splayed in the original image. But if you just need like a mob, you just need a mob to be killed, you know, something to spawn and in a game and kick and it'll fall over and yeah. What's that? No lumberyard support, says Throttle. Something like that. So anyway, let's just download that. So I'm going to say single file. I'm not going to add any animations because we're going to do our external animation library. Where is the bridge to the garden shed, says Throttle. So what we'll do now is take a look at some of the other stuff what I done earlier. Oh, and we've got the yellow one that we made earlier. So that would be the yellow version of one of our alts. So there it is. It's not bad. Look at that. It's actually really good. Wow. Very Lex Luthor-esque. He's even got a metal plate on his butt behind. It's very forward, well, rearward thinking, I guess. Grown. Okay, look at that. It's like very cool, actually. Right. So do you know what? Why don't we try this adaptive smoothing business out? Because it won't affect the original. And we get 4 respins anyway, right? So let's go remesh before we do the texturing. Let's do adaptive ultra. I've not done a... Have I done adaptive? No, I have done adaptive ultra. It wasn't as good as... I think it was about the same as 10K. Maybe it's better for if you're doing like... Whoops. Use a fixed target count. Yeah. Adaptive automatically determines poly. I kind of like that though. Let's try adaptive ultra and see what it does with this one. Because I think, you know, that means where it's complicated, we get more detail in the structure, and where it's not, it's less, which would make, that would be nicer than a hard amount. Zeus says, don't worry, I still run a 2012 Inventor license on an old laptop. Hey man, I think like that old 3DS Max is probably related to some random project. I don't even remember. So are we doing something? Am I just sitting here? I don't think it's doing anything. Okay, now it's doing something. Oh wait, I couldn't see it because of the UI, guys. So there's the smoothing with adaptive. It's going to make another one now. So how about now we put it on the fixed 200k and see how they match up. So you got to ignore that. In fact, let's just delete that one because it's going to be confusing as hell. I'll forget. So that's the original. And that's coming out. That's with the adaptive Ultra. Looks a bit like a Warhammer model. It's not as detailed, I'll grant you, but you know, like a. Let me have that. Right. So let's get a nice angle on it, and then we can switch. And they won't move when you have them all. When you've loaded them once, you can switch between them. So that's the original, which is too much, you know, you can see where it's bumping and stuff. So we want to smooth it, but it's a question of how much. So that's the adaptive, and this, sorry, adaptive Ultra, and this is fixed 200k. Do you know what? You do get, like, you can see like the lips and stuff. I think it is more detail. But this has got half the polys, look, 86,000 versus 199. So, you know, it's twice the detail of Ultra. So I would say probably Adaptive Ultra is equivalent to the 100k setting. I'm guessing, right? We'd have to actually do it. Just do it. So that's really good for if it's like, because the thing is, say I wanted to do like level of detail versions, I could have this one for my far away models, which don't have to be as detailed. And then as the player's getting closer, you could use the slightly higher detail model. Because like if you were doing a cutscene, you might send this one to Blender or whatever, and you might use that for close-ups, cutscenes. And like actually rig it to talk and all that jazz, you know, chop the head off and put like a metahuman head on there or something. But I think adaptive is better than 100k. Yeah, it is. It's better than 100k, but it's not better than 200. So I think I'm just going to go with fixed 200. I know it's more, but it was running 1 million without me even doing it. I tested without doing any remeshing. So this isn't about, really, it's about the texturing, because when we go to texture it, that is harder to texture because it's got more hard angles everywhere. That will be easy to texture, but you've lost some detail. That's about the same. But again, it's efficient, you know, 100k. I'm going to go with this one for now. So texture, the 200k fixed with PBRs, and it's not that skin, is it? Wait, yeah, it is that skin. But here's the interesting thing. Do that one as well. think we did. You'll be like, what is he doing? There's a method to my madness, guys. This makes sense. I need goons. It's funny that this guy was the hero of the previous game I made. But that's okay. It's just a creative writing exercise. Did I make that one yet? I don't know. Let's do it. So anyway. Now remember, we get 4 respins. So let's take a look. How are we looking? Goon Uno. Uno Guno. Oh. El Roboto. He looks like RoboCop with the helmet off and painted yellow. You know what I mean? A little bit more cyberpunkish. I like it. Oh, I like it. Right, next. Let's load these guys in. Did you ever play Half-Life? See how it's trying to put the different design, which doesn't fit? So the mesh didn't change, yeah, but the textures on the thing have, and it's kind of tried to do different shape. So they're different, but they're the same. NPCs. Look, those. So you could make the common ones yellow, and then that one's like an engineer, and that one's like a commander or something. You know, it all falls into place. And the idea is that because they're all based on the same mesh, as long as I rig them all the same, and then as long as the animations actually are just animations, don't have skins, should be able to apply, like you should have the same set of animations for all of them. Obviously, this is what we're trying to prove out with little apps here and hither and thither, and then you can put it all together and do something cool, because there are a lot of very cool animations, and then it just becomes hitbox logic, basically. But I don't want to get too far ahead. Let's grab this guy, because he looks pretty solid. Bit boring, I'll grant you, but you know, whatever. And yeah, we'll just give him a quick rig. And then we can go to coffee time. I'm going to obviously leave everything the same in the previous menu. That's important. I'm not changing anything. It was the same image, same mesh. So technically, these are just skins. Technically, but there is a chance if I like did this differently that it would have an impact. So I'm just trying to test that out at the moment. I think maybe we might have to actually. That's quite a big shoulder pad. Normally I'd put it higher. Oh wow, he's actually got a little thing for his shoulder, for his elbow. That's weird. Sometimes it just nails it, by the way. Just gets it in exactly the right place. I've been really impressed. It's been a lot of fun to work with. And it opens doors, because you don't have to worry about live generating footage all the time. You know, you can just make a 3D model with the image generation. So all those custom characters you've made, you can take those images and use them to make your model. And then you pick animations you like the look of that fit what you're doing. Surprisingly easy. Oh wow, there's another one I didn't see. Oh, there's 2 more I didn't see. Okay, that must have been the vaguely power armor type. Cyber armor. Oh, they're all clones. Clones of Baldy. Oh, that one's cool. What the? You can't help it. Oh, God. Well, that's horrifying. Other than that, he looked pretty good. Should we do that one again? I think we'll, yeah, I think you could do that one again, mate. All right, so let's see. Oh, yeah, look at these guys just patrolling around. It looks like Quake. Quake 2, but more polygons. It's like Quake 2 or something. Isn't it? I might have to play some Quake 3 tonight, guys, if I can remember. Oh, my goodness me. It's so good. Ghost arms on the torso. Is there ghost arms? Wait. Huh? Ghost arms. He's got pipes. Wait, is something twisting that I'm not noticing? Because I know what you're on about. Guys, what am I missing here? What am I missing? Can you see the glitch? I'm trying to see. Can you see the polys? Is it like glitching? Hang on, I'm trying to... I don't know, man. I've played video games with worse models than this. Right. Did I save this guy yet? We need to save this guy. Before I add any animations to him, we need to save him. And give him a name. Can, Punk, Can, Drone, Can, what? What? Can V something, NPC1. You make them guards. Make them hold a gun and stand by a door. And sneak around. What is common, not on your model? Oh, I see. Right. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Throttle. I didn't know. I missed the context. See? I'm just like an LLM. Exposed. So, let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. It's a woman. Oh, my God. They have females. Okay, well, we need to have... Maybe she's the big boss. Make her a quadruped. I haven't done a quadruped yet. I want to make the tiger from Sharona. I think that would be really cool. Oh wow, it's nice when the character design actually has like markings where the elbows are. Look, there's like little circles there. Even though they've been reskinned, you can see exactly where the joint is. That's nice, that's convenient. I might have to make that a feature. Just put like a thing exactly where it is, like, you know, so there's like a visible indicator you can just pick. Ah, yeah, there it is. That's the one I want. Oh, I do recommend a high DPM mouse. Check that out. It does help. You still have to put the dots in the right place, mind you, but you know, it helps. It helps. Okay. Up. I'm glad that the playlist is working because I was a little bit worried about that. Right then, it's time for coffee. Do I have the coffee time here? Yeah, we do. We're going to do the Sea Dream, Sea Dance, coffee time. Here we go. Hello everybody. I hope you've all got yourselves something to drink and you're all nice and comfortable. If you're watching, welcome back. Don't forget to like the stream. Consider subscribing. We're here every day at 8 p.m. We're on a bit of a run since last Christmas. We're probably going to make it till Christmas. Let's see. Won't be long now. So anyway, we're taking a look at Bunraku, which is my puppeteered chat. It's a collaboration with Throttle, and Fernicar's even supplied the model that we're currently using from Hunyan 3D. Everything is made with AI or our artwork and generative. You know, it's all in the cut. So where are we at? We're on Meshy. Okay, and Meshy's looking pretty damn hot right now. So I got a game on Steam called Angles. It's got a free demo. Buy it today. We always used to joke about that. It never got finished. I had planned to finish it with AI, but it's a 2D game technically. But we always wanted to make it with 3D and we couldn't because there was a budget. You know, back in 2018, you actually had to make the 3D models for real, and that either takes a very long time or you got to buy them. And you know what this represents is actually crazy because it means that you can. I mean, look at what we've just done. I mean, this is another NPC. They're based on the same mesh with just reskins. So then, you know, there's like a thematical similarity between, you know, it's quite an efficient model at 100,000 faces. It's a GLB format at the moment, but you can put it to FBX. You know, it's just sort of nondescript bad guy. We have them in all different, you know, it's like, does it really matter if it's, look, I've played video games where the face is worse than this. You're just going to, look at that nose. His nostrils aren't quite right. That's funny. But yeah, if you're just going to be shooting them or beating them up or whatever the game is, oh, that's freaky. I don't think it really matters. I kind of want it to be a bit messed up, actually. But yeah, so, you know, you have your models, you have your skins, you have your animations, and the gambit you're using is externalize it. But, you know, you could, there's so many different, I don't need to tell you, you know what 3D models are. We need to give that model a name. Oh yeah, which one is this? Is this V0, V2, V4? Oh my god. Things get out of hand, man. Can V4 NPC 2. Okay. So I'll sort that out later. So yeah, I was going through the various different sort of meshes. So each one is a different mesh. So let's go back and take a look at some of the other ones that we've been doing. So this is a Thora attempt. The various different, look at the faces. See, that's actually pretty realistic. But she's a cartoon, so really you probably want something like that. This is Thora V1. There were many experiments done in the Thora V1. That one's a little bit more. I've got these ones as well. They're already downloaded. And obviously there's the mesh. But there's the funny thing. I simplified it down to 10,000. So the chances are, if I was to just, you know, come in here having learned what I've learned now, I could come in here and be like, yes, custom, 200k, costs nothing to redo the mesh, and then when we get the new mesh, apply the original, you know, apply the texture back, and then I found it was a little bit hit and miss with the faces. As you can see here, we've got a face. Do you see what I mean when I say it looks a bit like an old video game, like what's it called? Siphon Filter or Deus Ex. Like I said, probably Deus Ex is the one that had the funniest face shapes. But anyway, I mean, you know, that's kind of like Disneyfied. It's not really anime. It's kind of more Pixar-ish, I guess. But it still looks good, like DreamWorks. Yeah. That looks like photorealism. Got a strange profile to it, but a lot of eyeshadow. And then there's another one. And there's another one. So it comes down to what do you want the outfit always looks amazing. And so it comes down to what do you want the face to look like. And I found the face was messing up because it was misinterpreting hair as face. And then creating bumps, which then mess up the application of the face. It makes sense when you think about it. So it's like, if you have a character which has got like a clear face, it's going to apply better. But, you know, there's no control over which face it's going to be. And they all have their own merit. I think that one is probably the best one out of the bunch for the V1. Yeah, that one. Okay. But that is just... Where is it? That was just V1, I think. Yeah, that's just V1. Let's have a look at this real quick. So there we go. We've simplified it to 200,000. That actually looks very good now. It looks like it just came out of a PV, like a plastic mold. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's lost that original fit. Well, you know what I mean. Because the trick is balancing the smoothing against. Oh, she's got an extra finger. Just noticed she's got extra fingers. Is that on the original? I bet it is. Oh, right. Hang on. Oh, no. I didn't notice that inside she's got an additional mutation. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for... Cause I get, again, you get 4 respins. So I'll ask for a respin on the base. And then for the purposes of what we were talking about, we'll just skin this now. I don't mind. We're here to explain it all, so... It's got the original image. Thankfully, it remembered it, even though I changed it, which is very nice. Thank you, devs. I appreciate stuff like that, because sometimes I have a nightmare trying to find that original image, so it's nice that it's all part of the project. It's somehow in the metadata. You see what I mean? So, like, if I was clicking here, look, that's a different texture. Anyway. Okay. I didn't see it come up. Uh-oh. I wonder where it went. I could have sworn I hit the button. Did it make a new thing? Ah, there it is. There it is. Love it. Right, I'm just going to stand up. Excuse me. Hello. All right. So, we'll show lots more animations in a minute. Maybe she's related to Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Hey, man. It can all be part of the lore. You can make it canon. So let's take a look at Can V2. Slightly different build look. But it's just another NPC. And we got a whole bunch of them. I was messing around with smoothing and learning about that. Do we have a V3? No, there is no V3. I can't count. Can V1. Again, slightly different. Do you know what I mean? We're just making goons. That's how I'm looking at this. We're just making goons. Using the collection of skins. Because I just wanted to see, you know, obviously I can reskin this by just editing this image, right? So you've got infinite NPCs that have this shape to them with any color and whatever you want. That's no problem. There he is. But then you can also use the same tool to build heavy armored versions. So it's the same guys, you know, it's the same thing, but now it's got a completely different model design. I like this one, man. I love the hoses at the back. It's so good. So, you know, you can very quickly build out a faction of like goons and NPCs for your game, which I think is kind of sick. Couldn't do that 6 years ago, mate. And it organizes everything nicely for you. Let's have a look at some of the other Thoras, because I did some experiments. I didn't smooth though, which I probably should try. So if we take a look at that one, she's still got that John Wayne gait. The problem I had was getting the face to not suck. See what I mean? When you go sideways, you can see what's happening, look. See, it's kind of like that's actually hair, but it's interpreted it as the face. It's not a reskin, it's just unfortunate. So it's like her face is actually inside of her face. You think it's a hair? It's not a hair. It's like completely scuffed. She's got serious brain injury. Oh my god, the gash. Double gash to the brain. Yikes. Anyway. But I reckon, because look, if we look at this, it doesn't have the gash on her face. It's just hair, dudes. You see? So it's almost like there's a projection where you're projecting the face, and it didn't really use that. So yeah, like I said, this is why I think the remesh is such a good move. You can just remesh that. Oh, you meant Scorpion, the one with the spike in his hand. Yeah, yeah. Get over here. Good stuff. Right, while it's remeshing, I think you get it. We make a smoother version and put it on, and because it's smoother, I mean, it'll probably still try to draw the face over the hair, but if you're lucky, it won't. And I think if it's smoother, it's got less creases to project over. So, let's see. There are other Thoras. We have built additional Thoras. Oh, God. It's funny, it kind of looks like some kind of scuffed gaming. They're all pretty good. The outfits are always great, but the face is what lets it down. I almost feel like it'd be nice to have like a head tool, you know, or a face tool, which is like doing that better. V2. So again, I'm messing around with different models, basically same skins, slightly different shapes. Trying to see if I can mitigate this whole her hair covers her face and then her face projects weird. Yeah. But again, I didn't do any of the smoothing stuff at this point, so the models are like super complicated. Yeah, this is the one that got the most work. So this would be the first one I did, the V0. Because to be honest, you know, I got better at rigging them, better at putting the things in the right place over time, and but we were mostly just testing out reskinning experiments, you know, so make ourselves a little robot NPC thing, cyborg ninja type. It's gonna chase you about. Jungle camo version. Oh look, it's the actual version of the. See, there you go. Rigged up, ready to go. And then there's the jungle camo. Let me just go through the ones that are rigged, probably better, probably quicker. Again, the face is completely, you know what I mean? This is the only thing. I need that face to be, like, look, we use these for NPCs, you know, or for whatever, but it's just tricky to get the face to be the same. That's just the same. That's just the same. And we're going for like more of a Metal Gear Solid vibe with the not just with the design of the skin more than anything. So I think it does look Kojima-esque. But again, the face is a real issue, because often you get like that, which is that's actually pretty good, but it's almost like it wanders. You know when you used to do the video with Kling 1 and 1.5, and you'd put it in and it would change from photo to 3D to cartoon to anime to, it's a bit like that. The face is sort of wandering through different styles. Now it's Asian photography, you know. Now it's gone back to sort of European photography, but it doesn't quite fit. And then it goes back to like a cartoon-esque, but not quite, you know, it's like, it's not really photo. It's gone back to sort of like, do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, not ESR GAN, GP GAN. You know, the one we used to use to fix faces a long time ago. GFP GAN, is it? But yeah, like the faces kind of look like the faces you get out of that. I don't know if it is that at all. I have no idea. But in the end, we have this one, which is pretty cool. You know, like, you know, you can talk about proportions and all that business, but that comes down to what it was given. For what it was given, I think it's done a pretty good job. She's not like overly female or feminized, or it's just a model. You know, I think that like the ones with the anime faces ended up looking the best, but there were a few like this one. Like if I showed you the 2.1 face, it'd probably be about the same as that. 2.1 and SDXL face fix. But again, this would be the one that you'd actually use, because even though it's like a bit wonky, it's just a cartoon face. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, because I was thinking about different characters, not just Thora, other characters as well. Right, go back. Right, so we've looked at all the alts. How is the can doing? So did we do a new... Which one did we do? Did we do a new... No, we didn't do a new 0. They all had moobs. Every single one of them. It thought it was female, I think. Let's see. Can V1, can V2. The main difference is I implemented like a chest plate to stop the moobs, because it had a tendency to try and make female models. It's not in there. Must have been that. Yeah. Okay, so that is actually kind of nice. But you see the problem? It doesn't know. If it projects a face over the top of that, it's going to make a face that's square. And so because of the occlusion of the hair, it just projects face onto that as well. Because it doesn't really get that the hair is obscuring. See, I have a special workflow for that. Ah, well. Let's go to texture, and it's got the correct texture. So that is the one that was used to make the mesh. So let's give it a blast and see how it comes out. Okay, meanwhile on this side of things, we've got a 774,000. Wait, what? How are they completely different? Wait a minute, what's going on here? There shouldn't be two different meshes. So that's the mesh, which is super smooth. That's the one which is... But why are the arms at the side and these ones are our T-pose when it should be a T-pose? That's so bizarre. Maybe they're not rigged yet? I don't know. It's a little bit bizarre to me. Is it even the same chick? Doesn't even look like the same image. How have I done that? I must have... Normally it creates a new thing though. Could it have been the smoothing turned it into an A pose? Don't know. Oh, I know what it is. I re-rolled it. Ah, yes, I re-rolled the original. Probably because it had extra fingers. Yes, now I remember. Sorry, guys, it takes me a while to catch up with myself. Okay. So what I need to do is now smooth this one. So we're going to do a 200,000 on fixed with triangle. And then we'll texture that. Does anybody want to help test Battleship? Anybody? I'll put the link in the... It's already in the inside line, actually. But I'll put it there again. Let me just double check it's actually published and stuff. Yeah, it should be. Wait, implement the plan? No. Should right. It's probably got bugs, but it'll be fun to show if it works. So let's see. Go to inside line and just a reminder. So inside line, board game, blueprint, forge, lovable, app, dots. You know, it's the links right there. If anybody wants to go in, I'm going to make a room. Call it test. Password protect it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And refresh this. Now, if you were logged in on your end, you'd see something like that. Right? So I'm going to wait. I'm going to give someone a chance. And if everybody's busy, don't worry about it. I'll just carry on. I can just join myself. Oh, fetched players. Oh, something's happened. So if somebody joins, we can break it. The password is 12345. You should just be able to. Yeah, you'll have to create. Just make an email. Just do an email and password. It doesn't need verification or anything like that yet. It's just a proof of concept for the multiplayer lobby system. We did it before with my tabletop board game, and I decided that my tabletop board game was too crazy. And so we're just doing battleships. Waiting for host? No, I gotta wait for someone to join me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the combination that an idiot would keep on his briefcase. That's a Spaceballs quote. There we go. Fernicar made it. Sorry, mate. Right, okay, so let's go. Start game. Hey, no stream sniping. He can see my... I can see a flaw with this stream idea. Right, hang on. It's alright. It's alright. Fernicar can, beat me fair and square. So obviously the first thing we have to do is put our ships out. Okay. And then it should, when he's done his and I've done mine. You're in, are you? Oh, don't tell me I broke it. It's my turn and I haven't. It says waiting for opponent to finish placing ships. Have you placed your ships? Am I like hassling him now? Oh look, ship placements. Oh yeah, there we go. He placed his ships. So I can't see his and he can't see mine. Well, he can because he's watching the stream. But, so I'm going to click and then it's your turn now. And it'll go back and forth until you've basically clicked all of these. I know, you look how sporting you're being right now. It's like he can literally, oh, I got a hit. That means I can do another one. I got a hit. Ah, I went the wrong way. So normally I wouldn't be streaming my screen. Oh, damn it. Look, it's still not counting. So there's two bugs at the moment. Number one, the shot history isn't being displayed. And number two, the ship counter isn't updating. Even though I've sunk one of his ships, it's not updating. You may as well just start sinking my ships now, Fernie, because I need to test that actually you can win this game. Because remember, there's no... I don't know if this display is just graphical and doesn't matter. Yeah, just go ahead and get them all in one go, mate. You know where they all are. Oh, look at he's a nice guy, look. He wants to let me have a go. You may as well just snipe them all out. Or maybe he had to Alt-Tab into the game and he actually can't see it. Oh. 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 Oh no. How did he know? How did he know? It was right there. Oh, I sunk his battleship. Mind you, I think he sunk mine already. Hang on a minute. How is that 6 long? I don't even have one that's 6 long. How did you even have... Wait a minute. Is this bugging out? Wait a minute. How have you got a battleship that's 6 long? I could have sworn the longest ship is 5. Oh well, I guess he has a big battleship. See, I've got a fear that this doesn't end. Like, the networking is working. He's seeing what I'm seeing. I'm seeing what he's seeing. The game is working. But what if there's no win condition? Oh. Something's gone wrong. Fernie can't click. What? 6 long? The battleship. And also, the game seems to have crashed. 5 + 1. 5 + 1. Yeah, on my screen it looks like a line of 6 hits. But I don't think there's a ship that's 6 long. A battleship with a trailer, says Zeus. Oh, he hit. Was that a delay or did something go wrong? Look, fetched shots, 57. What the hell? Look at this number here. It's going up to 200. Something's glitched out. Surely. Fetched shots, 57. They're battleships. Ah, clearly. Well, I think the game's broken. Because it doesn't seem to have done... If you miss the turn switch. What turn switch? There isn't a turn switch. Huh? It's apparent, according to my end, it's... Oh, if you land, you have another turn. Right, but I'm not seeing you actually take it. You know what I mean? The last shot you made, I don't know. I think something's gone wrong. I'm just looking at the console. Because you're not actually shooting anymore? Or are you? I'm just confused. I don't know what's going on. Just if you can shoot the last ship, can you just shoot the last ship? Because it's like it's D2, D3, D4. Yeah, if you just chain those. Are you like clicking really quickly and it's lagging out? Because I'm seeing like an insane number here, like 200. It's doing like, I don't know what it's doing. It's going fetched shots 60. I'm like, what is it? What is this? It's doing something strange. My turn. Oh, okay, good to know. Why did that take so long, dude? I just need you to, yeah, there. So now I have no ships. That should be the end of the game. That's the first time we've ever reached the end of the game, and guess what? It doesn't end. Yeah, just as I thought. So there's still more work to do. But the point is that the game is networked. So we're both logged into a lobby and we're doing a game. You know, whether or not the game is perfect, that's a whole different... The aim of this is to be able to create browser lobbies and then put whatever game it is you want to put in there. The rules are if you miss, you lose. If you land, you continue. Yeah, I know that, Fernie, but I didn't understand why you just weren't doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you were waiting for me to explain. It's all good. What I've learned from that game is that the major bugs with this game are the ships don't count down when you sink enemy ships. The count doesn't change. The shot history doesn't show anything. The logs are full of stuff. I mean, right now, look at this. 341. Fetched shots 65. So, I don't know if that's like the history that's not being printed, but it seems like there's some weird logic going on there. But again, the game is kind of placeholder. I just wanted something that was a little bit more obvious to understand than a board game I designed that nobody has heard of. It makes sense, right? So just use Battleship. Right, I'm going to leave the room. You should probably do the same. So, you end up with create new room. You can password protect it, and then you go into whatever game it is. So really, it was about, can we make these online game lobbies? Because if you can, then you can make more interesting games. And as I say, when you start messing around with the 3D stuff, it's a little bit more, it gets more interesting is what I'm saying. So we've simplified the mesh down. We're going to texture it. And the nice thing, like I said, is that these models, we've saved them, and then we're going to use the external animation system. I do have to check, though. That's one of the things I'll be checking after the show tonight, is in the live dev, is that do the animations, obviously animations with the same mesh are going to cross over, right? But when we separate the mesh from the animation, it should mean that the same animations can work with many models. And that like cuts down on the whole management of everything, yeah? So I'm putting them into groups. So, you say you want a character, it's got idle states. Did I add the rig? No, not this one, no, not yet. This one's been rigged multiple times. Here, let me show you. So remember how I told you we made this tool, which is just a quick way to play back the animation for the character? Or whatever. This is just an animation. Yeah, animation is assigned to skeleton, sure. But what I'm saying is that all of the animations I have are kind of generic for a human skeleton. So as long as you're making another human and it's kind of rigged in a similar fashion, all those animations should just apply to all of the meshes. But it's more efficient to do it that way, because you can't load a model with 200 animations. It doesn't make sense. Let me just clear that one off. I'll do another one. So let's do a different dance. They're all dances, though. There are more. Thinking animations. And obviously this is the original mesh that we've improved now. And like I said, there's so many of them. Oh, hang on. I wonder what this one looks like. Because this one didn't work with the early model. You could see all the triangles were open when she was upside down. Thing is, these all have the skin though, so there's still lots of work to do. Oh my god, look at what happened to the face. I know Kung Fu. But only if you look from the right angle. If you look at me from here, it gets a bit weird. Don't look. I know Kung Fu. Oh, she does know Kung Fu. Love it. Right, Sharona Alt. So let's have a look. We tried doing some reskins. So they just have the running. So we got special forces, and it tried to put, you know, she's still got the midriff with the crop top and the big boots. And the mini skirt look, still the same, but it's just kind of done the image to image thing. Just make it work. Must be a helmet. Brilliant. Roboto. Let's go walking. Yeah. I'm really happy with it. I think this is like super useful, especially if you're just going to pipe this straight back in. I just like the ability to do reskinning and new characters based off of the work that you've got that's, you know, it's working, and then you can build on that. Let's get something a bit more realistic. Jungle camo style. Fits. The outfit, this is surprisingly versatile, this outfit. You can just reskin it. You got a space version. Space! Kind of, it's funny, it tried to make like an astronaut suit, but it's still got the same mesh. So I was experimenting to see what you could get away with. You know, it's the same mesh. We just reskin it. See how many more see how many miles we can get out of this one mesh. So we got a knight. So it's the same character, just different skin. So it's got the same aesthetics. The backs are actually surprisingly good as well. You get the occasional popping, you know, where the leg is coming through the clothing. But I would say that you can just add actual clothing. You know, you could put like cloth physics behind, and it will cover that up. Yeah, short of actually fixing it, I guess. But that's fine. Look, if I was playing like a Skyrim type game, I appreciate that modders have made everything really good now. Banguelo, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. New project, yeah, new project every day, guys. But if we just take a look here, this is Sharona in the bronze armor, right? We're using the same model and just reskinning it with banana, and then running that through the texture, retexturing the model that was generated from the original image that we used to do the banana in the first place. So just a recap: make image with cool, make your best, make T-pose, edit the T-poses into different characters, different models, meshy. So we've now skinned our thing. Let's check it out. Oh my god. See what I mean about the face? The face is kind of hit and miss. I'm just going to go with it to show you what happens next. But I hope you can see that it has, even though it's a bit weird, look, her nose is breaking. Look, straight, broken, straight, broken, because her nose starts. Look, her nose ends after her nose ends. It's like not quite in the right place. That's classic. Anyway, we've got retries, so it's not a problem, don't care. But let's show you the rigging again. So we've already done the remesh, which took it down to 5. We took it down by 5 times in terms of poly complexity. So we go to the remesh, not the remesh, the rigging. Put that there. On the chin, barely any chin on this model because of the way the faces, they keep looking down. So it's like there's barely a chin. Put that. I usually put it like on the end or near the end because it's like she's wearing gloves, so the wrist is probably somewhere in there. Same thing over this end. Like if the glove clearly ends here, if there's no glove, I'll put it at this end. But when there's a glove, I put it at this end. It's up to preference. Put that roughly in the middle. Put that just at the bottom of the shoulder plate. This might be a bit too wide. She's got like small armor shoulder pads though, so Dan Chien, not the groin. That's a little bit below the belly button, like 4 fingers below the belly button is where we're aiming. So it might even be right in the middle of the belt. For the knees, I tend to go a little bit down. So see, we've got like a metal plate. I tend to go like slightly inner and to the bottom. And then for the shoe, I go slightly inner and at the cuff. Because I know the ankle's a bit lower, but it's like, it's a funny angle. If you look, it's got a funny perspective. And then I'll work on one side, take the symmetry off, and then work on the other side and just, you know, final adjustment. Because sometimes, see that, it's not, it's just a little bit off. And having it there, having it there instead of there will make a difference on how the limb folds when it's animating. So, just do it a bunch of times and you'll see what I mean. Alright. But the nice thing about this is you can just export them with the walking running and then use the external animation system that we built with Sonnet to just use lightweight animation. See, tonight we're going to be experimenting with stripping all of those animation meshes out and then making sure it still works, because the animation is only like 120 kilobytes. So let's have a look at this one. Oh no, it's not done yet. Hang on, we need to go back and then forward, and there we go. It's buried in the results. Oh. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign, is it? Uh-oh. That's the first time that's happened. It's not actually... We didn't actually get anything. Empty. Okay, well, anyway, I think Fernie's just sent me a new model, so... Let's see if we can download that, because he uses the Hun Yuan. So let's show you the model import. So if you've already got your own model, while we're in this section, image, prompt, model, whatever, the workspace, you can go to image to 3D if you're having trouble finding it. An image tab and put it there. Or rather here, upload your own model. But you can also use top right as well, upload. Right, upload your own model. So we're going to use the new FBX, which has just been sent in by Fernie. We open that one up. We call it Thora. I'm going to just call it V6 because I can't remember what number I'm on. Probably on like 3 or 4. But we'll call it V6 Fernie so I can remember. Banguelo says the name is actually High 3D Gen. We have done a whole bunch of local 3D stuff. I reckon it'll be ready by Christmas. I don't think that... Oh wow, why are her eyes closed? Is it because they're anime? Okay, well, it's fine. I'm sure it'll figure it out. So you've already optimized it to 300,000, so I'm going to leave that alone. And now I just have to remember which image it was that I gave him. Because I have so many. Oh yeah, we tried doing damage, battle damage. I think it's that one is what I sent you, isn't it? Did I send you that one? Let me double check the Discord. The Discord. Dev Chat Live is where we're going to be in about half an hour after the show ends. Yeah, it's that. No, wait, it's not that one. It's... See, I made so many more. It's that one? Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, it's that one. PBR on. Had a lot of fun generating the over armor and stuff. Got loads of NPCs now. You know, it's easy to make state engines and chain animations together when you know they work. It's like you kind of have to know that things are reliable. Like, and obviously when you build stuff out like this, it's like, well, I know it works. So that it just becomes a case of finding the most optimal code logic or whatever. It's interesting what it's done here, though, Fernie. I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's good. But is that actually what it was? I mean, it is. It's got the high collar, for one thing, which is... The legs are a bit strange. See, the way I'm looking at this, guys, this is really important. Sometimes even hair isn't necessary. Because if you're going to go into Unreal Engine 5... The hair in you know, you can put hair on a baldy. You know, they're all bald. You know, spoilers, they're all bald. Okay, and then you have the physically simulated hair strands with the, you know. It has a wig, yeah. No. I appreciate this is I'm not criticizing your hair. What I'm saying is that the hair is separated. Good. It's good that it is, because when you go into... This is what I was trying to say about the clothing, right? This is like the undersuit. You want to think this is the undersuit. So cloaks, capes, jackets, skirts. Yeah, all that stuff should go on with physically simulated in the game engine, because it will just look really good and be better. I appreciate if your character doesn't even have that stuff, then what you would do is you'd put extra straps that move around, extra little pouches, you know, just like you put one here that moves with physics or something. Little bits, little bits. Yes, they are. They're all separate. I don't know. Does Meshy make separate? I don't know. The workaround is you just use banana to remove the belt, remove the straps, because you're going to put them in later, or remove the hair. So you ask for a bold woman, you know, because obviously you're going to put the hair in yourself. But what I'm saying is you don't have to waste your time trying to model coats and, you know, say you wanted to put like a long coat or a cape on this character. Don't bother. You just put it in with physical cloth in the game engine. It'll look better. And just focus on the undersuit. Do you know what I mean? Like what's actually attached. Yeah. Yeah, we did do the texturing. The texturing's over here. I know it looks a bit confusing, but when you click the button, it gives you a texture. Sometimes I do it a bunch of times because I don't like the face. Look at this. So yeah, we've got a retry button, which is nice. And I'll just keep going until I get a good face, guys. I would probably say that if you were doing this for like a production, you're just going to have a target face to swap it out. And you're going to have a process for swapping out the face. You know, that's what I would say. So I'm not even really worried about the face right now. I'm just can't believe how good this is. You know. It's crazy how good this is. Let's see if I put this girl on here. Does she have any... Can we do some stuff? Added? No, I've only got 2 there. Hang on, is this one? Added? No. This one? Added? No. Oh god, there's so many of them. V4B. That looks like... okay, right. So that's what's in the chat app right now. You know? And we're just about to add in a whole bunch of other weird stuff. See how many there were? There were so many. We made so many. The many iterations of Sharona as we were mucking about making the thing to do the thing. There's Remy from Mixamo. And, you know, just keep doing it. Gets better, better, better. Start doing a more adventurous character, a bunch of NPCs. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Oh, man. We're getting killed out here. We're getting killed out here with the faces. The noses don't even look. The nose is not even in the right spot. It's like it's shuffled down or something. I don't know. I think it's just misinterpreting. It's just unlucky positioning of the face there. Oh man, she's got 2 noses. She's actually got 2 noses because her lips are her other nose, and then her chin is her mouth. And oh my god. Export and I will fix the face, says Fernie. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I think it's more than just the face. I'm gonna do it again. You get 3 retries. You know what I mean? Export. Oh, what? What? No doubt vibes. Yeah. Sharona. It's funny. Don't speak. Here we go. Roboto. So I just want to see if we showed all of the things. We missed one. So I wanted to know what would happen if we did, like, you know, the beach version, right? What would happen? It let us do it, no problem. But remember, this is a fully clothed, so what's happened is she's ended up with like a transparent, like, you know, like a what is it called? A sarong? Is it like a transparent material? You know? So she's not, you know what I mean? She's still got the same outfit. It's kind of weird to see the scarf, but I guess it's like really thin material, I guess. I don't know, like silk. I don't know. But yeah, we made a whole bunch of different ones. There's your cyberpunk version. So it's the same character, just respun with banana. And then here is Fernicar's zebra that he sent in. Zebra skin, and then the tiger skin. Faces are great on these ones, Fernie. Lucked out on that. Because it doesn't really listen to you. It does what it wants. Sharona, Sharona. Oh, no. Oh, okay. We've got something which is usable. It's not a cartoon face, and it does look like she's just wearing a human face, doesn't it? It looks like she's wearing the mask of a human. Is there like another face under the face? Strange aesthetics, guys. I love it. But yeah, so that's essentially your character. So obviously now we do the rig. It's really simple. I enjoy doing it. It's been painless. You know, you make a few mistakes the first time you do it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I got to put it here. And you just sort of remember, oh, okay, I'll put that there, you know. And like I said, I tried to give the tips that I've learned. Take the symmetry off. Put it on the inner corner, lower inner corner. If I crashing, stop doing that. Don't crash. We're nearly finished. Oh, okay. There. Because the thing is, guys, I'm looking at this like, if I have a character, oh, maybe not that one, that's a bad example. If I have a character and it's walking around inside a map, and I have another playable character and I'm sneaking around, right? These guys are going to be like smaller than that on the screen most of the time. And when you get up close to them, they'll probably get to be about that big, maybe, on the screen. And so it's kind of like, well, you know, what are we doing? What game are you playing? How much detail do you need? Because if the characters are going to be like this big all the time, you don't actually need crazy detail, do you? So it makes you think like, oh, actually, if this is just going to be like a guard, random goon 57 with a randomized toupee, you know, it doesn't really need to be Avatar Part 2 graphics. It can just be this. This is fine, actually. This is way better than fine. I've played games worse than this. Worse than this. Is it perfect? No. But I don't know if it really needed to be. If you just want a lot of enemies, because it's possible to make a whole collection of NPCs like in line with a theme, and then make a bunch of variants very quickly. And you could even make model variants, not just skin variants, you know? And then you can do variants of those. And so it's like, it's really quick to get yourself a library together. Whereas before, it would be impossible to get, like, you'd get a goblin and then you wouldn't be able to find anything that matches it. Or you'd get, like, a hero figure. And so it's like you end up having to make your own stuff because otherwise it doesn't match. Yeah, I think these look really nice. And when you think about it, say there's, oh, you go in a room and there's 10 of these guys shooting at you and you shoot them all. Well, they're all going to fall over and die. You're not really going to be like, oh, what's the polygon like on his rib cage? I mean, some people are like that. And that's fine. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, you know, it doesn't... This is serviceable, guys. It's not like warping around where it's close. It's clean. You know, I'd call it A grade, not triple A. Single A. Single A development. Was it triple B? Triple B. Okay. From double D to triple B. Love it. How's she looking now? Walking like John Wayne. Boff, 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 boff. There it is. Still looks a bit weird, like it's a face wearing a face. But, like I said, you're never going to look at... It's very rare that you'd be, you know... Well, am I going to sit... Well, I guess people do sit there and just spin the camera around, but the ground would be in the way, so it'd get really close. You wouldn't be able to do that. Look at that walk, though. It's really funny. There are different walks, guys. These are just the ones that are built in. So that's the newest Thora model. It is good quality. We're just having problems with the face not looking like crap. Alright. So, we used the batch image resizer to make our Sharona sources smaller because they were too big for banana. We used the banana IP adapter with our best work to make a T-pose. We used the T-pose to create variants and other characters. We used Meshy to make the meshes, or Hunyan 3D. Thank you, Furnicar. And then we brought our mesh in if we had it. And then we did the texturing with the same image that we used to generate the model in either case. And then finally we did the animate feature. Now obviously if you need a pro account to save them with animations, that's one of the ways they've monetized. But the thing is that if you do buy it, it doesn't charge you. Say I want to download this animation, I just set it like this. Current animation, download. Now it does come with the skin. We've proven that. It does come with the skin. So this is a character. It comes with running and walking. But if I drop one of their animations in here, like this one, quick walk, it comes with the skin. So one thing we're going to be mucking about with tonight is actually separating these properly. Because even though this works, it'll only work for this character. You know, because if you use a different character and then start this animation, you'll probably end up with two bloody skins. It'll probably crash, I don't know. But if it's possible to split them out, then obviously that's what we're going to do. But as you can see, there's one of those NPCs we just made. So the 3D pipeline is right there, and I wouldn't be surprised if by this time next year we're all doing everything local and you don't need... Look, I love Meshy, I think it's a great service, but there's a lot of people in the community who want to do everything locally, mostly for privacy reasons more than for cost reasons. They're not worried about the cost, it's the privacy issue. They don't want to share their work and potentially have their IP sniped before they've even finished the first project. That's usually what it's about. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're just doing it locally. I mean, to be honest, it's just the smoothing and the texturing, and Hunyan does have a solution for that, which is really good. It's just hard to set up right now. And obviously you can just come here and it's like $20 a month, and you can cancel it after your 30 days because you're not going to be doing this all the time. You're probably going to do it a lot and then stop until you need to do it again, because you'll have all the models, you'll have all the animations. And the other thing as well is, which I didn't mention, it's fully integrated to Blender, Godot, Unity, Unreal, Maya, and 3ds Max. So depending on what you like, it doesn't end here. You can pipe the project into a more comprehensive editing suite, shall we say. And then you can obviously take it further than what you can do in their website. But I have found that you can do everything in their thing. And like I said, the concept was this. It's got some bugs, like I said, they're in the floor for some reason, but it's just an offset issue. She doesn't know that the ground is, you know, she's in the ground. So once that's solved, the camera angles will actually work, because we're set up, all the camera angles are set up so that she is on the ground, but she's in the ground. So if we offset her height from the floor properly, it's a common thing. It's a common thing. So yeah, this is obviously a chat with a 3D avatar, and then because I want to use this for other things, I've set it up with formation dancers, and they are in sync. If you know, they should be up on the it's so funny, they're all in the floor. I didn't notice for a while, but if you look at the green line, you can see that they pass through the green line at roughly about waist height. Obviously, if you actually get her to talk, she'll think and talk with different emotions. So that's the concept. I think just puppeteering 3D, hence Bunraku, is going to be more efficient than generating video live. You know, like I would say, if you have an avatar and you want to do that, it's still going to be better, because you could have AI do, you know, you could have her there talking, but do the actual talking with AI. So you can still use AI to like make it better. But I think if you start off with this as a base, it takes a lot of the effort out of it, because it's not starting with nothing, is it? And that will actually make it more consistent too. A bit like that webcam thing that we were looking at the other day. She's 3 feet under, says Throttle. David Good meme. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm familiar with the Good Enough meme. So, but yeah, this is a work in progress. It is possible. I've obviously got things like the green screen, so it's possible to integrate this with the stream. And then we need to find a tight TTS solution that doesn't sound bad and doesn't use lots of memory. And we got a new third thing now. Installs easily, because if no one can install it, it's useless. All right. Okay, and then obviously we finally got to show this working again, so that's really cool. We showed the tool we made while debugging. We used the tool from last week. Everything just kind of came in handy and was there when we needed it, because we already built it. Just in case you were wondering, I did not ditch the board game that I built that took like ages to build. I did a fork, and then I rewound Lovable, changed it into something else, and made another fork. So I haven't lost a thing. It just means that when I'm in Lovable, now we're working on the naval. So, for example, if I wanted to turn this into like some other game which has a multiplayer lobby, I can just scroll back, restore point, and then develop it into something else, and not have to completely rebuild the game lobby again. You know, while I'm mucking about with this idea, at least. And that is, I think, everything I've got for you on this side of the evening. Why are there so many windows? It's dangerous when there's so many windows, because I don't even know. Oh yeah, there was one more thing, guys. Guys. Let me show you this. Grand Sedan, 10, increment sequential. Watercolor style with ink line work edging. 11, increment sequential. Same album, me walking around my car. Prompt, watercolor style, line work, silver Lexus Grand Sedan parked in the middle of the road. Banana, yeah? Banana, right? That's 6 cents. Here, Kling, 2.1 10-second Pro, start to end frame, start end. This is 98 cents. So that would be $1 redo. And we can end on this. So yes, I know it's an API node, guys, but if you've got local start end frame, you can do this on your local. You know, just literally delete this API node and put in any good local model that we've already covered and done workflows on, like Hunyuan or LTX or even WAN. If you've got Kijai nodes, you can do start end frame, no problem. So I'm just doing this way for speed, so I don't have to muck about with loading models and all that nonsense. So as you can see here, that's the back of my car, my old car. This is the back of my car in watercolor line work. Very nice, very nice. And then this is the next shot, where as you can see, I'm walking around the car, you know, so I'm obviously walking to the right, around, looking at the car. And the next page is like halfway around. So I get through Banana, it looks like that. Yeah. And then any minute now, he says, we'll get a video which will look a little bit something like this. So that's video style transfer with start and end image only using Kling 2.1 Pro. A friend showed me a cool workflow which basically did this, and it got loads of views on Twitter or something, and it was using a different type of front end. It was using not Comfy UI, and it was a massive workflow which looked like my flow nodes. You know, my flow runner, the wrapper for Comfy, it looked like that, but it had loads of like nodes that were basically doing what we're doing. But with Comfy UI and Zenkai, it's like 2 nodes, 4 nodes maybe. Hang on, and let me just show you something else. We used my concatenate. You know, I got the concatenate app as well. So this is not styling. This isn't styling. This is just putting a bunch of them together. You can see the first now, but that's the only time that you'll notice it. And to be honest, I use stabilized rigs to do this kind of filming, or I have done in the past. And you will see after stabilization, you will see more. It's about the same. It looks like it's been stabilized. And so when it stops and starts like it just did, it just seems like the person was doing his best to keep the camera steady. And it doesn't look bad at all. There is a ghost car in the background there, but you wouldn't know that if you didn't know. Like, if you didn't know that that's not a road behind that hedge, you wouldn't know that cars don't drive there. So there's the occasional hallucination of like a distant car driving past. But that's, you know, if I went and looked at the video that because I walked around the car with video, and then I took stills from the video for the photogrammetry. And then this was trained as a LoRa in 2.1 and SDXL and Flux. But this is crazy, because we're just doing start end frame, and then we're chaining the start end frame with that, you know, like with that conveyor belt type thing. Right, yes. And then we have And then I think now we should have a new one. Crazy. That's so crazy. So like if I download this, and then where is the joiner? Man, I'll never find it. The point is I've got like a tool to quickly join video, but right. So it's another one. So now we've got the next, you know, you've got the next bit round, right? And obviously if I wanted to get the next bit round, just click the button again. And then this becomes the first image and whatever the next one is. Yeah? It just does it because they're in order. So that's what the sequential does. It makes sure. And then obviously when I made the data set, they are in order, right? I am just walking around the car with the camera going click, 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 click. And so again, just to run over how that works in case you missed it, we're using Zenkai image prompt, which contains a data set, so image and prompt pair. We pull the prompt out to use further generation. I'm doing like a string split after the comma so that I can inject the watercolor styling in front. That's all. It's just a bit of string manipulation. Don't panic. Yeah. We're just literally injecting something before the second part of the prompt, all right? But yeah, 13, and then the other one is 12, right? So as long as that's on, you know, as long as B is one more than A, all you have to do is queue it up, and it will just go round and round and round and round and round. No matter how many images you have, or whatever it is, doesn't matter. It's really pretty. Looks great. Good times. Nice car. Good times. So we're going to end with that. Look at it. See, you would never, like this sort of drawing, you're going to animate like that? Love it. Absinthe. Yeah, I used Absinthe 3 years ago, yeah. It's still very popular. And it has an really active community, Absinthe. There are actually Absinthe plugins for Comfy UI. And you could argue that some of those tools include it in their stack. So what was the name of that one? I've forgotten the name of it now. That's terrible. It was an animation tool that was very popular before Animate Diff. I'd have to really scratch my noggin over that one. It's getting late. Online and free. Yeah, cool. But yeah, like I said, Absinthe is a much older technology than what we're using here. Here. Oh no, wait, no, still nothing. Wait, didn't it just change? No, it starts there. Okay. Hey, here it is. Does it make mistakes? Yeah. But if you wanted a 360-degree spin of a car in watercolor, I can't think of a better way to do it. It's actually really good. Like, all the details are right. You know? That is the car. It's getting it all right. Even the location is correct. It does look like that. You know, where this car park with those trees, with those buildings, with that sky. Beautiful. I even like the noise, even though it doesn't move. Have you noticed the noise doesn't move? Check out. Look at the screen. There's a texture that doesn't move. Even though the image is moving. Can you see it? It's kind of like a relief or a reflection on glass. You have to kind of let everything go by. I'll upload it to the chat and you guys can have a look at it on your screen. Maybe the Maybe the compression stops you from actually seeing it. But you'll also get the workflow, should have the workflow in the video. So let's have a look. There we go. I'm loving it, dudes. I was going to do it with Sora, by the way. But Sora doesn't have the start end frame. And the dude that was online raving about basically this, but with like a supercar instead of my old car. That was the difference. He'd gone through a lot of other angles, but the thing is that I put those angles in order already, so I don't need to have 100. I don't need 100 loads. It's just literally 12, 13. This one is always one ahead, so it doesn't matter. You just keep clicking and it will keep going. And then the nice thing about Zenkai image prompt is it maps the seed to the length of your data set. So when you get to 100 and you only had 100 images, 101 is just one. It just loops back. Among other cool features. But yeah, you guys know the Zenkai set, that's what it's all about. Give you unattended access to some of your favorite operations. Okay, I think we're good, guys. Hang on a minute. Can we get her to say goodbye to everyone? Say goodbye to the audience. Can she do it? She'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. You need to seek professional help.
Certainly. Here's a polite and professional way to say goodbye. Dash, dash, dash. Thank you all for your time and attention today. We hope you found our presentation informative and engaging. If you have any questions or need further information, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day.
That's funny. She's way too formal. I haven't given her a system prompt yet. I figure that comes later, you know. Let's put it back to a dramatic view. Yeah, look, they're all in the floor. All right. So that's it, ladies and gents. Managed to get through everything, I think, I hope, perhaps, maybe. If you've got time and you want to hang out, do go and buy the Discord. We're going to be in the Dev Live. Just give us about half an hour to get home and eat something, and I'll be in there with you. Other than that, see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Next, the rest of your eminence deal.
Hemis like sound. It's got smash the devil. Say mama bye when everything goes miss. Just if you want to get no like when you can keep it check. My bar can't ever slump. Okay.
Just